Alright, so I've got the day off today, and I'm trying to take down some trees. It's snowing outside, and I wanted to take these down in the middle of summer, and I didn't get to it. I wanted to try, there's a couple of trees really close to that. Oh, not really close, but close enough for me to worry about them. I'm not a professional by any means. I'm only taking down, a handful of trees in my life that were substantially sized anyways. And everything I always made sure was nowhere near a house or people or cars or anything. There's 2 trees in my front yard that I think I'm capable of taking down. Of course, both of them are leaning towards the house a lot. So the sun comes from that direction, so the branches are all reaching out like towards the house. And I want to drop them the complete opposite direction of where the branches are. So I tried messing around. I went to Harbor Freight and I bought one of those chainsaw chains. I just tried it on a couple of low branches and it just sucked. It was just terrible. You couldn't it was impossible to keep it the right way. You'd throw it over the branch and it kept flipping upside down so the teeth weren't biting into the tree. You had to play with the rope it would take literally an hour to get it set up, and then you'd go for 10 back and forth and then kept getting wedged and stuck, and it was just not, I'm not doing that. That's a waste of time. That was probably 2 years ago when I tried that. So with this, I made a hot wire cutter for foam a long time ago. So I just bumped up the wire size and the heat, and I cut off a couple of pretty high branches. So I just made a bow and then put the hot wire between it and kept screwing it onto longer and longer and longer and longer pieces of wood, and got up higher and higher and higher. I got probably about 25 feet up, and even though it's really light, it was still really difficult to hold it up and get it to go where you want. It was really floppy and wobbly. So I found that Harbor Freight chain that they sell, and like I said, it's the teeth they're not teeth. They're just sheet metal, it's kind of like a bandsaw, but not sharp, and it's not a tooth. It's just a point. So this one, I'd throw it over the branch, and I mean, if you had to get a small branch that was kind of 8 feet up or less than that, you might be able to use this. It'd probably still be frustrating. So my friend's grandfather swears by a chainsaw chain, and I bought one found at Tractor Supply for $10. So it's a 24-inch or something like that. So one of the things that this branch, I think, and I got a 100-foot rope, and it's there's not a whole lot dangling down. So let's say the branch is 35 feet up, something like that. What I'm worried about is finally getting it up over the branch, and it's upside down. So I'm not gonna saw the branch off with the teeth that stick in the bar on this chainsaw. I want it to be flipped this way, and at 40 feet up, I don't want to be messing around with that. I don't want to be playing with it and trying to flip it over. I'm not doing that. The last time it took me an hour just to get this stupid chain righted the right way, and this was only 15 feet up, and then it got stuck and jammed immediately, didn't work, and then I think I broke the rope trying to unstick it, and then I had to do it again, and I was not happy, so I gave up on that, and I'm reluctantly doing this, but a lot of time old timers will they know what they're talking about, so I'm going by what he says. He does it, takes him a couple minutes, super easy. So I think because you're going to be coming straight down with that rope, it's going to be getting snagged and caught. So I'm going to try it anyways. So I watched a couple of YouTube videos, and I couldn't really find a whole lot on this. But there was another old timer who said that he used it. I forget what he was using, but he took a coat hanger or something and he hooked it to it and bent the coat hanger. I feel like that would just bend and not do what you want. So it would he bent a little bit of a U in it, and then attached one into the rope and one into the chainsaw chain, and then as it comes over the branch, it flips the chainsaw around the right way, and then when you pull it over, it's always going to be in the right direction. So I went to Home Depot and I bought a 1/4 inch square stock. I just bent it in a little thing there just by hand, and I'm gonna weld it to the end of my chainsaw chain this way, so the teeth will be facing down. I'll cut this in half probably. So as I pull this up, like if it's the wrong way, if I pull this up over the branch, I'm assuming once I get to this point, it's gonna want to kind of flip this chain around it the correct way. So we'll see. A lot of times this stuff doesn't work out like I planned, but I'm definitely gonna at least try it. Couple of loops. Figured if I put them on this way, it should be more likely for the chain to flip like that as it's going over the branch. When it's over the branch like that, gravity should pull this down. That's the plan anyways. We'll see. We'll go try it out here before we finish the second one. So there we got the loop on the end and the chain attached to it, so it should be good. I'm hoping that's long enough to take care of business, but I mean, I might have to rig it up so this is more likely to go over the branch sideways instead of like if it was upside, if it was hanging like so. If here's our branch where the rope's pulling it up and over, and it goes like that. I don't know how likely it is to actually flip it all the way over because you got to lift the whole chain to do that, so I kind of doubt that'll happen. But I'm hoping that as I'm pulling the rope up, it's going to be more likely to flop this way or this way, and in that case, as this comes over the branch, it should do one of these numbers. I hope. So, let's go try it out. See. Alright, so I tied a little rope to it just for ha-has, and we'll see if it works. Found a nice low branch. Try it out here first. I'm going to pretty much pull them straight down with it. On the small branch, it's doing kind of what it's supposed to. It's going to be fun to get it over. So that actually kind of works. I'm glad I made it shorter. I was actually going to make it longer. I forgot about the leverage you need. Okay. So we'll come up. See the loop does turn it sideways, which is good. That's what we were aiming for. Thank you for your help. Rope's a little bit small. I'm afraid it's going to break. And then getting it over, I'm a little worried about that too, but maybe it'll work. We'll see. Huh. It's good enough for me to at least I'll do the other side, and then we'll go up to the real tree and try it out. When I started messing around with this, I tried throwing a rope over the higher branches I wanted to get to, and the rope, it was a lot harder to aim it where I thought it was. The rope would pull on it and wouldn't make it as far, or I'd throw it straight up, or I'd try the cattail thing, and I'm not massively athletic, so it didn't work out well. So What I was thinking about and what I'd seen a long time ago was a guy used a bow and arrow to do that. Thankfully, my dad had a couple of old bows, a small one for like a little kid, and then a bigger one. So I'm not looking to kill anything. I just want this to go kind of straight. He also had an arrow that he had broken, which saves me a lot of messing around. I was gonna make one out of wood and attach something heavy to the front, but that we end up with the same problem here. It's not gonna go straight. You need like in a rocket or anything like that gets shot from the back. You need weight in the front to keep it stable. So I think it's a 5/16 bolt, and I think these shafts are different sizes, so you just have to size yours accordingly. I'm just gonna stick the bolt in the end and then just easy peasy throw some hot glue in there, and if it falls out, whatever, I'm not gonna be that upset about it. I'm also gonna incorporate a piece of twine or something in there so I can have a loop or a couple loops to tie to. Otherwise it might not be fun to try to attach something to this. Just trying easy first. So all my the hot glue stuff is upstairs with all my wife's stuff. So here's my makeshift bench for the day. Okay, so I'm probably just gonna tie a couple loops on the top of this and just douse it in hot glue and jam it in there. So probably just do 2 of those, and hopefully the hot glue keeps on there. I'm not super great at tying knots. Never got my knot tying badge in Boy Scouts. Alright, just gonna shove it in there pretty far, and I'm just gonna coat it with hot glue and then jam it in and just cover it with hot glue. Feels like it's already going to be pretty good. So just got it around the bolt, like right before the top part of the arrow, and then just shoved it in. As I was pushing it, you could feel it cooling off, and just it's already not going anywhere. Now I'm just going to cover my awesome knots with hot glue so they don't fall off. Of course, I run out of hot glue. Alright. That should do it. And hopefully it doesn't fall off. It's getting dark super fast, so probably not gonna be able to finish this today. Hopefully I don't have to go into work tomorrow, but I think I do. Hopefully they give me my day back. We'll see. Alright, so maybe the best spot is over here. Hang on. So this tree is in the way of the other one. So if I can find this thing. This is the tree I want to take a branch off of so I can take this tree down. I'm going to try to let it fall that way. So I'd like to take this whole guy off right here, this whole end. This is the only part I think is really in the way. So I'm gonna aim for that first, see how well this goes. If it's super easy, then I might take off a little bit more. I would like to take this tree down now at some point too, but as you can see, this branch is hanging way over to the left, and there's a guide wire that goes from this telephone pole across the street to one over here. I think it's this guy over here. So yeah, so it goes from that pole all the way over that pole. It goes right in between this tree and this tree. So if I take this branch off, it'll fall down and land right on that guide wire. So this tree is not going to be fun. We'll see. Hopefully this works out. So, don't know if you can see it or not, but it's dangling right there, not coming down. Hopefully I can get it. We'll see. Well, I was able to snag it with another rope. Don't know if you guys are going to be able to see anything because it's starting to get dark, so. Alright, the other day when it got dark out, I had just gotten this rope over the branch up there. So I kind of tied it off for the night, and it's been a couple days now. One thing I'm a little concerned about, I should have probably got a little bit bigger loops because how large this rope is in relation to this. I'm worried it's not going to roll right on the branch, so we'll see. That's a big old lump, so we'll see. I might get a really big ring if this doesn't work out. If this gets stuck up there, I'm going to be super frustrated. Alright, see if I can get you a good view over here. You can watch me get this stuck in the tree. I'm gonna need 2 people for this. So the rope chain thing did work. It wasn't like smooth, but honestly, like maybe 10 to 20 back and forths actually cut that thing down. And I think like a good like 3 or 4 of them really did most of the work. I think one of the problems I had was I was cutting, like it was only just a small part of the branch, didn't really weigh that much. So once I got a good portion of the way through it, the wood just kind of, bent and it just kind of hung there. So I just, we were trying to kind of cut it at an angle and get it across, and it got frustrating. And so I just kind of took the rope and I walked around the branch a bunch of times to kind of sort of twist the rope around it, and then I tied it to my tractor and I just pulled it and it came right down. I think if I had a bigger, heavier branch, that wouldn't have happened. I think it would have just, once it started coming, it would have just, fell down and came off. So all in all, I guess it does work. It did definitely get stuck a few times, and doing one person like underneath like this, there's no way. It would just immediately get like jammed up. Another thing I wasn't really thinking about was the rope that I was using stretches a lot, but that kind of affected it negatively too. So you'd pull on it, kind of you could feel it stretch, and then it would kind of spring towards you, and just felt like that's probably not really helpful. Definitely, I had to. It was a 100-foot rope. I ended up cutting it in half and giving my wife one half, and I took the other half, and we stood as far away as we could, just so it would kind of open up that angle, so it wasn't like wrapping around that branch like that. It seemed to work a little bit better. You know, I was pulling towards me was cutting, and going towards her was just like the smooth side. And we definitely had some trouble going back and forth for sure. So, not sure if that's beneficial at all for anybody, but I'm probably gonna try a little bit bigger branch in a couple weeks, and I'll probably make another video on that too.